Hey folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce for the 4th of July, 2017. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to do a podcast today. I didn't have anything in mind. Didn't have anything that was so important that I wanted to talk. But then I started looking at things, started examining what was going on around us, and I decided, people have to know, and it's just, it's one of those things, folks. You never know until you get right down to the last minute and realize, hey, there's more to this than what you might think. The Trump haters want you to pay for abortions. Protesters hit the streets in Austin, Texas to call for Trump's impeachment. Let me just point something out for you, folks. That's never going to happen. Okay, I'm just telling you. He's never going to get impeached. Okay, so knock off the bull crap because it's never going to happen. Okay? Never. All right? These far-left liberal, progressive pieces of crap have absolutely no idea what they're asking for. Okay? No idea. All right? The Senate, of course, is going right along with them because apparently, allegedly, the Senate is putting forth impeachment, policy, whatever they do to do that. And guess what? Yeah. They're all Democrats. Mostly all of the Senate is Democrats. Okay? It's never going to happen, folks. It's never going to happen. I don't care what people say, it's never going to happen. Several days ago, and you may have heard of this, Robert David Steele joined Alex Jones via Skype and made a statement regarding what he believes are classified government activities on Mars. The MSM took that and ran with it. And there's a video, of course. So I'm going to put that on American Liberty Radio podcasts on Facebook, as well as the other article I read the headline to. Let me start here. Let me begin to tell you that the facts reveal that the left cannot, will not abide by the law under the Constitution of the United States of America. Okay. That's just a no-brainer. The left does not care. The left is only out to steal, kill, destroy. They're out to do everything they can to disrupt peace, freedom, liberty, and security in this nation, period. And it's just the way it is. There is no other way of looking at it. There can't be any other way of looking at it. Because the evidence is staring you in the face. Oh, and yes, there are people who are ignoring it. So, in my personal perspective, I cannot put up with ignorance. I just can't. Because if you're going to ignore the obvious, then why are you even leaving your house? Because obviously there's nothing in life that's ever going to make you happy. Okay? But let me go here. When you look at yourself, when you examine yourself, your environment, where you live, where you grew up, all of that, where you work, where you go to school, where whatever, wherever, who are you in that environment? Okay. You trade one environment for another. You move from one environment to another, different job, different school, this kind of thing. And you see all around you, you see all these people just going along, just walking within their imaginary rut, just believing that everything is going to be just fine. You're living you're living this dream world, this fantasy life that you've put out there, right? And you're seeing all these people just going about their day. My whole point in this, and I led up to this, is that those people are so blinded by the indoctrination that has been shoved into their little measly brains, that their thoughts are only limited by that indoctrination. And they cannot think any other way except that way. And there are people out there who think far beyond that limitation, far beyond the indoctrination of the mainstream propaganda media, far beyond the schools of intellectualism. There's people out there that think that way. We've had philosophers, we've had poets, we've had artists all through history go beyond the bounds, go beyond the boundaries and the limitations of what others have put on them. And you ignore the obvious? Huh. Daniel Lang at shtfplan.com. The future of multicultural Europe. German city with the most immigrants also has the most crime. Statistics can't be covered up. Over the past 20 years, European cities have slowly become more ethnically diverse as EU governments open their borders to foreign populations. And as this process has taken place, the authorities have been quick to cover up any crimes that have been committed by these populations. For instance, Swedish police are no longer allowed to describe the ethnic background of the criminals they catch. And most notably, the German government and press were desperate to cover up hundreds of sexual assaults that occurred in Cologne in 2015. However, there are certain statistics that can't be covered up. A government can try to conceal the connection between crimes in specific ethnic groups, but they can't cover up the overall crime statistics of an entire city. Plus, politically correct governments can't really hide the ethnic diversity of their cities. That's something that their progressive sensibilities command them to promote. Fortunately, sometimes those two factors come together to give us all a good look at the relationship between immigration and crime in Europe, despite the best efforts of European governments to conceal that connection. For example, the German government recently revealed that more than half of the population of Frankfurt has a foreign background, arguably making it the most diverse major city in Germany. And on the top of that, the data reveals that these people aren't thriving in Germany. 49% of people with foreign backgrounds in Frankfurt live below the poverty line compared to 23% of native Germans, and they are significantly more likely to be unemployed. But that's not the real kicker. Frankfurt was a diverse city long before the migrant crisis reached its peak, and even then it had a startling crime rate. I'll put that one up on American Liberty Radio Podcast for you. Statistics don't lie. People try to cover them up, but the truth eventually wins out, and you see it, and it's in your face, but you ignore the obvious. I find it incredibly odd, and this is just me, this is my personal perspective. I find it odd that people cannot and will not admit to ignoring the obvious. I don't know, is it me or what? Other people feel this way? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing in this world that can be ignored so adamantly than what is happening right out in front of you. Look at your cities. If you live in the urban or suburban areas of your city, go downtown. Just go downtown. Walk around for about an hour or so. You're going to see not only diversity, the diverse characters that are there in the downtown area, but you're going to see diversity in the sense of there's a plus and minus to all of it. You're going to see the store owner who's, struggling to keep his family alive and to keep a roof over his head. You're going to see the guy in the suit walking into the courtroom, for a fact is an attorney who's making $225 an hour. And, so you're going to find this diversity down there. But if you sit these people down and you ask them a very simple question or a few questions, you're going to find that they're all the same. They're all the same people. They're all the same characters in this massive storyline that we call life. You're never going to get away from that. And the diversity of character is what makes this country the better country in the world. The only problem is, that I see, the only problem is we, the people, have allowed a government to come along or to be built around all of us with their one task: to enslave us. That's it. We didn't build a government from 1776 to 1871 to enslave us. We did not want that at all, period. But because of the Rothschilds and because of the Queen of that day, President Ulysses S. Grant had his arm twisted, didn't want to be president in the first place, didn't want the job, but he reluctantly took it, got his arms twisted, intellectually speaking, and signed this little document into law called the Act of 1871, which essentially, metaphorically speaking, built walls around the United States of America in the manner of giving back the United States to the British government. And the walls went up, intellectually and metaphorically speaking. Innovations came along, cracks in that wall began to show, and parts of the walls fell down, talking metaphorically here. Innovation resources began to flow, and we began to grow as a country. We began to see the light, if it were, of freedom and liberty once more. I was thinking about Nikola Tesla because I saw a thing about Elon Musk, and how he wants to put men on the moon and Mars. One-way trip, you know what I mean? So I was thinking about Nikola Tesla, and I thought, this man came up with an innovative idea, had the resources to do it, made it happen, and the federal government came along saying, no, Mr. Tesla, we can't do that because of certain, just wait a second, we'll make something up. They were in cahoots with none other than Thomas Edison. They let Nikola Tesla go so far as to create free energy, absolutely, positively, 100% free energy for the rest of the United States, and that's what his goal was. And the federal government went, well, let's see, we made up all kinds of laws and rules and policies, so you can't do that, and therefore we're going to take all of your information and we're going to examine it to see if we can actually do this. No, they stole it. And Thomas Edison, of course, won out in that because the government handed him all sorts of grant money. Or, decided, hey, you come work for us and we'll make you rich. And, of course, talk about slavery. Took a man who was very bright, very brilliant. Both were, Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, but they sided with Thomas Edison. And Edison was a very bright and brilliant man. And, well, the rest is history. Every single thing that an individual like you and I do to create something that would perpetuate man into the future or into the what I call the Jetson era, if you remember that cartoon, the Jetsons, to perpetuate ourselves into this future of visionary ideologies and ideals. For each individual to do that, to build, to innovate, it gets to the point where, yes, here's a prototype, here's what it'll do, we've done all the math, we've done all the tests, it works, and here it is. And my company is going to do this. Well, how much money do you think the government gave to Elon Musk to build his battery factory in Nevada? In other words, it wasn't a bribe of any sort. It wasn't an investment of any kind. It was basically, we're buying your ass. And you're going to make this for us. And you're going to say everything nice and everything. Here's a couple of $100 million. You do what we tell you to. Been many individuals throughout history that have done that. That have, well, for lack of a better phrase, sold their soul to the federal government for a measly buck. Instead of taking that innovation, building upon itself, looking into independent marketing and research and building it on their own, such as much as I don't like using him as a reference, I will, Bill Gates, Microsoft. Yeah, he kind of borrowed some things from IBM when he worked there, and some stuff over at the Unix, type of operating system, and he kind of put everything together and went, yeah, here we go. And he was young and he made it. Same thing with Steve Jobs or Steve Wozniak, either one of them. Same thing with the people that created Firefox or Netscape, actually. Some of the same people that created Netscape years ago back in the 90s are the same people that created Firefox, because Netscape was bought out by, AOL, and then AOL bought Yahoo or whatever the hell it was. And then some of those people who were rich as hell went, screw you, we're not working for you, we're going to go off and do our own thing again. And they created Mozilla Firefox. Yeah, because it's the same freaking browser, just a different name. I remember using Netscape Communicator. Yeah. My point is this. Innovation built upon the ideas of not only one but several other people, innovation creates a future that you and I can live in. But the problem is government, period. End of sentence. Government is the problem. Our founding fathers of the United States of America told us three things. Do not have a standing army, which we do. We have the United States Armed Forces. They said, do not have a central banking system. We have that. It's called the Federal Reserve, and they're minions at the Internal Revenue Office. They said, do not have a centralized government, and we do. It's called Washington, D.C. By the way, Washington, D.C. is a city-state. Go look it up. Okay? It's a city-state. Now, here's a question for you all. This is so obvious and out there in your face, and I've just told you all these things that why are you ignoring it? And if you're not ignoring it, what are you going to do? How are you going to function knowing all this information now? How is it possible for you to wake up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror and go to work knowing that you're nothing but a slave, that for the first 3 months or 4 months of a new year, you're working for the federal government? Oh, yeah, go crunch the numbers. Yeah, you're doing that. Go ahead. Might be even longer by now because that's like a 10-year-old statistic. I'm not here to tell you the bad things about what brought about the Declaration of Independence, even though they were horrible things of the time. I'm telling you that right now we need a new revolution. We need a new beginning. We need a new Declaration of Independence. Not from a foreign government, which of course we also see that as an obvious thing because we have debts in other countries that we haven't paid. So we're a slave to them as well. But we need a Declaration of Independence from the current domestic enemies that we encounter each and every day and their policies coming out of Washington, D.C. We need a declaration within a Declaration of Independence in our own country from our own system of government. That's what we need. Somebody's going to say, well, how's that going to, you're going to give us the answers. No, I'm not going to give you the answers. I'm going to tell you what's obviously in front of your face that you are obviously ignoring. And it's not going to be, well, it's not going to be sunshine and roses, and I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass just to make you happy. Basically, my whole point in this 20-minute rant here is basically this. We need to start over. We need to start over. We need to make it our country, not the country of the fascist, democratic, socialist, Republican pigs that are up there. We in Washington, D.C., we need to make this country our own. Period. Period. It's not every day that you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and decide, I'm going to make a change. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. Look back in history. A farmer tilling his ground to plant food for not only himself but his neighbors, going to market and making a living. Having Union soldiers or even Confederate soldiers coming up to him saying, you got a choice. You can either let the enemy run roughshod over your land and take everything you have, or you can defend it. And if you come with us, we'll help you defend it. Imagine what went through their mind when they had to walk in the house, when the husband had to walk into the house and tell his wife that he had to go, that the enemy is at the brink of stealing everything he had. Think about that. Because under the current regime, and I say that, and I said that when Obama was president, but 75% of Washington, D.C. right now, 75% of Washington, D.C. right now is at the brink of complete and total collapse under democratic socialism, Republican fascism, equaling the Progressive Party. They're about ready to take down Washington, D.C. And there's not a damn thing we can do about it. Because once that happens, we are going to see civil wars, skirmishes, battles here and there across the United States, and nobody's coming to our rescue. No foreign government is coming to our rescue. As we have come to the rescue of their civil wars, nobody's coming to our rescue. That is why we the people right now need to stand up and take a stand against the tyranny, against the Democratic, Socialist, Republican, Fascist in Washington, D.C. We need to commit to defending this nation and engage the enemy at the very line of demarcation. And once they cross that line, all bets are off. Now, I know that some people might say you're calling for a coup. No, I'm not. I'm calling for the defense of the people of the United States of America against a tyrannical regime called the Democratic, Socialist, Republican, Fascist, called the Progressive Party. Democratic, Socialists, Republican, Fascist are part of one party, the Progressive Party, and they are against peace, freedom, liberty, and security in this nation. And the only time that they will even say that they want that is when they enslave each and every single one of us and say, now there is peace. Yeah, but everybody's enslaved and they're not free individually to do anything, to own anything, to have anything. You just squashed everything that people were ever believing in and holding true in their hearts to say, yes, this is mine individually. But guess what? The feds are not going to do this. A statistic came out that said that some people thought that American people had over 200 million weapons. That out of 300 million people or whatever, 200 million people had weapons. No. It's a lot higher than that. It's over 600 million weapons that each individual collectively in the United States of America have. And if you think there was a gun problem, there isn't. We do it because the Second Amendment says we can. And we do it because our federal government is a tyrannical piece of crap. Okay? That's just the way it is. I'm going to go take a break. I'll be right back. Don't go away. This is American Liberty Radio Network. Happy 4th of July, 2017. Sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS. American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com. Check out Late Night in the Midlands with your host Michael Vera at LateNightInTheMidlands.com, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Go to LateNightInTheMidlands.com. The world as we know it has been turned upside down. The leaders are faced with possible annihilation from their enemies. The United States is at the brink of a total collapse. This is the reality we live in. What can be done? The truth, the facts. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Hey folks, welcome back. This is American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com is the website. If you want to email me, you can. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. You can email me. Ask me anything you like. No question is off limits, by the way, because, hey, if I don't know, I will tell you I don't know. It's that simple, folks. It's the 4th of July, 2017. Now, I don't know, and I'm going to... I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to just leave it right here and let you decide what you want to decide. Okay? It's just totally up to you. Now, yesterday, on the Alex Jones show, I don't know if it's satire. I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw parts of it. Alex Jones officially off the Trump train. The media is right. Trump's tweets are much worse than their calls for his assassination. Alex Jones is officially off the Trump train after being outraged by all the successes being ushered in by our president. Now, let me say that again. Alex Jones is officially off the Trump train after becoming outraged by all the successes being ushered in by the president. Okay? Now, of course, you have to understand that he is a great satirist at times. Okay? Like I said, I did not watch the whole video, so I am going to put that on American Liberty Radio Podcast for you guys to take a look and judge for yourself. And like I said, if I'm going to tell you the truth, I hadn't watched the whole thing. I just saw parts of it, but I was busy doing something else and didn't get a chance to get back to it. So, it's on American Liberty Radio podcast. Japan scheduling more evacuation drills as North Korea missile threat heightens. Scheduled drills across the country more than double. Japan News, 4th of July 2017. Amid North Korea's repeated missile launches, evacuation drills conducted with the participation of local residents and based on scenario that a missile strike is imminent are being held in many places across the nation. Such drills have already been conducted in 9 prefectures, and there are more scheduled to be carried out in at least 11 prefectures. This month, the nation's first drill, in which people will evacuate to an underground mall, is scheduled to occur in Takahoka. Is that it? Toyama Prefecture. Since the start of this year, North Korea has fired ballistic missiles that left and re-entered the atmosphere 9 times. Yeah. So there you go. American Liberty Radio podcast. It says read more, so I'm not going to read more. I'm going to have you read more and assess that article and judge for yourself. Big fat bastard Kim Jong-un. Yeah, can't stand him. Now, some people would, well, he's a human being. He's got feelings, he's got emotions. Yeah, but at his heart, he's an evil bastard. Just like his dad, okay? Election watchdog group slams California for denying voter data to commission. What does Secretary have to hide? Yeah, see, California, corrupt California, commie California, Breitbart, 4th of July 2017. The Election Integrity Project, a California-based volunteer organization that aims to increase transparency in the voting process, has slammed a decision by California Secretary of State. There we go. Not enough coffee today, folks. Alex Padilla. Let me start over. Take 2. The Election Integrity Project, a California-based volunteer organization that aims to increase transparency in the voting process, has slammed a decision by California Secretary of State Alex Padilla to refuse to cooperate with President Donald Trump's Commission on Election Integrity in its efforts to investigate claims of voter fraud. So there you go. Okay. California is corrupt. Actually, I'm just going to say it the way it is. California is done. California is a police state. California is done. It's finished. It's a communist state. It's done. California is finished. And shall I go on? I think you understand. California is just done. Okay, that's all there is to it. It's done. There is no more California as we know it, politically speaking, mind you. Excuse me. Missile launched by North Korea was in intermediate range. Missile launched by North Korea was intermediate range, not ICBM. Russian Defense Ministry has said the Russian Defense Ministry has stated that North Korea launched an intermediate range missile on Tuesday morning. I think we better take North Korea seriously now. Don't you think? Trump responds to North Korea's rocket launch, quote, "Does Kim have anything better to do with his life?" Unquote. Trump tweeted his reaction to the latest provocation. Because I read those headlines, those are going on American Liberty Radio podcast on Facebook. I look at it this way, folks, and this is my perspective, so you guys can, judge for yourself what you want, and think whatever. You guys have your own perspective. That's fine. That's perfectly okay. But my perspective is this. Here we have countries around the world who are not only tenuously supporting us, right? But they're questioning, they're basically questioning our sanity because we have certain things that are done, right? We're doing certain things that really are pissing off the rest of the world. Okay? I mean, we are. I mean, we have the greatest nation in the world here, okay, folks? But we're doing some really stupid things, all right? We're doing some really, really stupid-ass things, all right? And to my knowledge, I don't know when this country has ever been, in my lifetime, ever on an even keel with any other country to just sit down and calmly and purposely find some sort of solution to the problems we have. That's my opinion on that. I don't know. Maybe we have, and maybe I just haven't seen it yet. I don't know. I have no idea. We can do and say so much. We've upset people all across the world. We have, damaged relationships between us and some very powerful nations. And here we are, we're pissing off more people around the world, and we're just sitting back going, hey, that was fun. I mean, can we just stop for a moment and say, wait a minute, if we're lobbing missiles over to a country to help somebody else fight their, civil wars and their battles, what does that say about us? I mean, seriously? God, what the hell are we doing in other countries anyway? Our founding fathers said not to get entangled in foreign wars. Guess what? About 75 to 85% of our military is in other countries fighting foreign wars. Illegal immigrant arrests doubling under Trump. Border controls continue to improve under new administration. Breitbart, 4th of July, 2017. Arrests of illegal immigrants have more than doubled in San Diego, California under President Trump's immigration orders. In a report by the San Diego Union Tribune, new data shows that illegal immigrants in Southern California are being arrested at roughly the same rate before former President Obama's era of relaxed border policies. Between February and May, nearly 550 illegal immigrants were arrested in San Diego alone by Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents. Compare that to the number of illegal immigrants arrested in the same time period last year, where only 242 foreign nationals were arrested. In 2015, during the same time frame, ICE agents only arrested 267 illegal immigrants. Says read more. So I'm going to put this on American Liberty Radio podcast on Facebook. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I know damn well it ain't going to happen because, people around the nation here in the United States have no balls, no backbone, no nothing. They don't have, their brains are so elsewhere. It's amazing that they can even tie their shoes. That's on the Democratic, Socialist, Republican, Fascist side. They have no idea what they're doing. They never have and they never will. Even their constituents, they don't know what they're doing. Mark Dice has proven it beyond anything that when you go out and ask these people, what does July 4th mean? What is this and what is that? What's Kim Jong-un? They don't know and they don't care. And this is on that side of the aisle. We, the people, the patriots of the United States of America, are against those progressives that are part of both parties of America, not just one. And we see the insanity that they suffer from. They lack the intellectual prowess to even, probably pick up a simple book to read it, I don't even think they're going to even sit there and understand what see Dick run or, and all of that. I don't even think they know how to coherently put a sentence together. But that's just me. I could be wrong. I could have overlooked something. I don't know. But now we have a system which is, well, I'm going to say it, the system's broke. The patriots of the United States of America look at the United States of America as their home, and we want to defend it, and we want to come into the arena to battle the opposition. And in regards to illegal immigration and immigration, as a whole, I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I really don't care who hates me for it. Close the damn borders. Nobody has the balls. No citizen, no groups of citizens have the balls to take trucks down to the southern border or up to the northern border in some cases and close the damn border. Start building a wall. Do it. And if the federal government says, no, you can't do it, yeah, we can. We own this damn country, you peons. Get back to Washington, D.C. We're about ready to cut that off and throw it into the Atlantic. So you don't like it, I don't care. We're building a damn wall, and that's just the way it is. Because look at this. Look in history. Look at the history of countries who have suffered under just unbridled immigration. Israel built a wall. Other countries built walls into their fractured country at that point and decided, we're going to keep these people out. And they have. Allegedly, Mexico, on its southern end, when people cross the borders, the Mexican military, they don't care. They'll shoot you. Allegedly. They don't care. Stay the hell out of our country. We didn't invite you here. And I don't want to call them, I don't want to say illegal immigration or illegal immigrants or foreigners. No. I'm not even going to say that anymore. They are invaders into the United States of America and are enemies to what we want, which is peace, freedom, liberty, and security for this nation. They are the enemies. That's just the way it is. Now, I don't care what other people say, and I'm not some, loony bin, I'm not some loony who's stuck in a bin somewhere saying this stuff. What I am is a very patriotic individual who has a great deal of knowledge about history and what is going to happen to this nation if we don't change the current flow of political ideologies coming out of the Democratic, Socialist, and the Republican Fascist Progressive Party. That's what I know. I've got history behind me. I've got my investigations behind me. I've got my research behind me. I don't care what some Harvard School of Politics and Sociology says, because they've been indoctrinated with all this crap, and they're going to disseminate that onto their on their students with the feeble little minds that are malleable to their globalist ideals. I'm not going to deal with the ignorance anymore of people, period, end of sentence. I find that certain number of people have the audacity to look at people like us, the patriots of the United States of America, the people that stand up and salute the flag, the people that put their hats over their hearts at a ball game. These certain number of people have the audacity to look at us and say, We have to cater to them. No, jackass, we don't. And my message right now in the next minute or so is going to be directed directly to those people. And I'm going to make this very short and sweet. Take your liberal, loving ass and go to the border that you want open, cross that border, and leave. You have no business being in the United States of America. You are a Bernie Sanders supporter. You are a Hillary supporter. You are a supporter of Obama. You pack your shit and get the hell out of the United States of America now. You serve no purpose to this nation if you are against peace, freedom, liberty, and security. Period. Now, I know that it's rough, and I know I'm harsh, and I know that some people are going to say, well, these people have a right to say whatever they want to say, and if they're opposed to what you say, they have a right to say it, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, I get that. But here's what's happening. They've been indoctrinated with the philosophies of the Progressive Party to say we're going to use the Constitution and the Bill of Rights against those patriots. We're going to use it as a license to get what we want. Did I not just say a little while ago before the break that we need a new revolution? We need a new Declaration of Independence. We need a new Constitution, and that new Constitution is going to say two things. One, if you're not for peace, freedom, liberty, and security in this nation, get out. And two, if you want to invade this country, we're going to kick your ass. You don't like it? I don't care. We took the Magna Carta from, what was it, 1211 or something like that, or 1511? I don't know what the hell it was, what year it was. Go look it up and let me know, because I don't know right now. We took the principles of the Magna Carta. We took some of the things out of the American Indians here, the Native Americans that were here. We took some of their philosophies and some of their political things, and we mishmashed it all together. And then we looked at it and went, yeah, we'll take this. We'll throw that out. We'll take that. We'll put this over here. We'll think about this. We'll discuss that in a committee. We'll do this. Guess what? All that became part of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America. Go look it up. Go look it up. The organic Constitution is not what you think it is. It's a mishmash of other ideas culminating in that document. I mean, think about it. Thomas Jefferson was tasked to creating this, and he looked around. What idea can we use to help these people secure their freedoms? And this document protects those freedoms. So he took all kinds of ideas, and people were giving him ideas, and, all this. Go look it up. It's kind of like the Bible. It's a mishmash of other ideas and other philosophies. And that's another podcast all in itself. But we just cannot sit here and let the Progressive Party, the globalists, run roughshod over our freedoms. We can't. There's no way. And to you folks out there that don't want us to have peace, freedom, liberty, and security in this nation, and you want to use the Constitution as a license against us, oh my God. You obviously have not seen your history in the civil wars of the United States of America. The Civil War itself started in 1860, ended in 1865, but continued on in little skirmishes for a little while. But, we had a Mexican-American war. We had an American-Indian war, the U.S. against the Native Americans who were backed by France who, go check it out. It's all history, folks. We kicked ass and ruled the freaking day. Then we had the Civil War, 1860, actually, technically 1861 to 1865, but it started in 1860. And that was because the southern part of the United States, the southeast, Georgia and Tennessee and all those areas, they wanted out. And some people are saying they followed more of the Constitution than the North did, than President Lincoln. But we kicked their ass because the North was more organized and more attuned to the needs of the people instead of just, hey, let's just get a bunch of people together and go do what we got to do. I say we because my family is from the North. Yeah, I'm one of those. I had 3 members of my family in the Union Army. So, think about that one. People of the United States of America have an obligation to this nation. And the obligation, well, there's several tiers to that obligation, and you people need to figure it out. It's time that we do what we do in this nation to prove once and for all that peace, freedom, liberty, and security is the key to the success and growth of the United States of America. And if we can't have that, let's put a Russian flag over the White House. No, I'm not saying that there was any collusion with... It's already been disproven, debunked, and thrown out in the trash that there was absolutely, positively no collusion between Trump and the Russians to get Trump into office. Period. It's done. So shut your damn mouth. You're stupid. If I was on TV, they'd kick me off in a minute. That's why I've got a YouTube channel. Even then, man, who knows? But anyway, speaking of YouTube, I may be on there. I don't know. I've got plans. So if you want me on YouTube, let me know. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Yeah. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com for more information. If you want to advertise on the network, you can. It's a win-win situation for both of us, especially here in Billings, Montana. So if you want to advertise, please consider it because, hey, it's the only independent alternative media in Billings, Montana right now. American Liberty Radio Network. It's the only one here in town, period, that I know of. No one's come forward yet to tell me otherwise. So, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go to the sponsors page. If you don't want to sponsor the network, that's fine. Drop $1 in the kitty and become a patron. Become a patron and help me keep the lights on around here. And help me continue letting you know what's going on. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. That is your website to go to. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Folks, this is the 4th of July, 2017. I will be back tomorrow with another podcast right here on American Liberty Radio Network. Again, go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com for more information. Click on that sponsors page, and all the information that you need is right there. Become a patron right from that page as well. And folks, American Liberty Radio Network, sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.